he didn't know about, and just went on and on and on. And you know, so he was happy to make all those sales, and then he realized that, you know, you make the sale, it just doesn't stop, right? Everybody has questions, and everybody, you know, wants a little bit of your time and everything else. And it was a real eye-opener for him because he had no help desk set up. He just had an email. So he would be getting hundreds and hundreds of emails every day. Just imagine getting 100 emails from your customers that you have to answer in some way, shape, or form. You know,
it's impossible for one person, and I mean, I can vouch for that as someone who has personally probably responded to around over 6,000 support tickets over the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I can maybe only handle 30 to 40 tickets, and some of these, I mean, sometimes the support tickets are not simple answers. You know, they're
right.
Change my billing or do this, and you have to go through multiple steps. And if you don't have good processes and good form letters, you're constantly having to create content. And really, business should be just a matter of processes, but it takes time to actually build up to that point. That's why I always recommend everyone start as an affiliate to learn how to sell someone else's product before you learn how to sell your own, because there's a whole different ownership level.
Yeah. Well, also, you know, if you're going to do something, and let's use football for an example, right? The quarterback never blocks. You know, I mean, there may be the odd time when that happens, but normally never does it. The kicker, you know, he's not usually the tight end. You know, and they all have their roles, right? And if you look at it, you say, you know what, I'm just starting out here. I need to minimize the number of hats I have to wear, the number of roles that I have to play. So the easiest way to do that is, like you said, and I totally agree, in the beginning, is find some products that you really believe in the industry or the market that you want to be in. Sell those, because first of all, you'll learn what your competition is doing. You'll learn what they're doing right. You'll learn what they're doing wrong, which gives you a competitive advantage. You'll learn a whole bunch of stuff about how the different processes work. You'll also know, hey, I can sell in this market. Here are these products. The market is buying them through me. That's great. Now what I can do is I can create a product that's a little bit better than all the products that I've been affiliates of and sell that to the market. And now it's my product.
Well, what you're talking about is actually a blueprint a lot of marketers actually use before they actually create their own products and their own product line and invest a lot of their time and money. They sell other people's products to see how well they sell. And once they get a feel of that marketplace, it's a lot easier to serve that marketplace.
Right. Well, yeah, and Jim, wouldn't you say that I forgot my question because I had a question related to that I wanted to ask you. And anyway, well, let's move on.
Okay, it'll come to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's 5 positive signs that you found a hugely great marketplace. And if you don't know what some of the key indicators are, this will help you when you're looking at and evaluating different marketplaces, because you've got to ask yourself, okay, are there going to be some gaps in this? You know, is this going to be a market that is going to be year-round pretty much? Are there going to be some high fluctuations? Is this market buying things all the time? So let's go over some 5 positive market signs that tell you, hey, this could be a great, abundant marketplace. Now, these top signs that you're going to see are, you probably... Now, these are actually, my apology. Okay, so these are the top 5 signs that you probably found a great market. Now, there's usually this is a great sign, and if you found anywhere a magazine, because it usually takes to produce a magazine and a high glossy color one. It's, you know, I mean, to print those up, it's a lot of money. So there have got to be some advertisers to support that magazine or just somebody who's, I guess, got a lot of money to throw around. So one of the greatest signs is that there's a magazine in your marketplace. If there's not, that means there's probably not a big enough marketplace to serve a rabid enough, hobby or problem that people actually want to follow. Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean that you won't have a good marketplace if there's no magazine, but this shows that there's a good, stable, growing marketplace.
Right. So one of the best places to go is to Chapters or Borders or any bookstore that has a large magazine section and start looking and seeing, what magazines are out there. And we know there's all like Entrepreneur and Business, and there's People and all those other ones. But there's more and more we're seeing small little niche magazines in different markets. I mean, there's even a magazine for podcasters and bloggers.
Yeah, so this tells you that there is a marketplace for that. And it may be a little bit smaller than other places, and but there is a marketplace. That tells you. That's an indicator. So let's go into the next one. So basically, the market that you found somehow solves a problem, like hair loss. Makeup solves a problem for women. It's a huge problem. Women are incredibly, unconfident to walk out of the house without some makeup on. It solves a problem, and it's a recurring problem too, which is the third top positive sign. Customers often have to reorder the item, the product, or whatever it is, like acne products. If you've seen on TV, probably one of the most advertised products on TV, Proactive. Constantly, whenever you call up to order that product, they will get you on auto ship. And I don't even believe they will take your order unless you go on auto ship.
That's great. So when I worked in the grocery industry, we always made sure that the rapid consumables were near the checkouts. And these would be things like magazines. People bought Inquirer every week. They bought People every week. They bought Kit Kat and O. Henry's every week. Bought a can of Coke every week, or every time they came in, if they came in more often, right? So, and the reason was that we wanted to focus on these items was because most of the time, 10 minutes later, they were done, and they needed to get the next Kit Kat bar, or bottle of Coke, or or in the magazine case, it was next week. You'd have to come back and get the next edition of People or Inquirer or whatever it was, right? So it's really a great point. Look for something that people need over and over and over again.
Yeah, and honestly, we're not going to be covering it today, but another great place, just like you were talking about, when the grocery market. You have retail outlets like Best Buy. You have, if you ever want to see kind of what go check out what their end aisle cappers are. Usually those are the hottest products to make sure to get people's attention right there at the end of the aisle, because those are the hottest selling items. Again, that's market research, because that's telling you what the store is selling most of and that they feel is most important. Probably what is also going to be moving online, but we're going to be going into later on down the line places where you can actually do real-time real-time market research right on a site that is giving us the information we need. So our fourth positive sign that we found a great market is that there are rabid buyers. What does that mean? One, they're passionate about their particular, they're passionate about their thing, they're passionate about their whatever, and they buy multiples of it. They don't just buy one or two things, they buy multiples. There's, a good idea, I'm trying to think of a really good example. A lot of people.
Well, I know your favorite example, and that's your iPhone with all the apps.
Oh, right, my smartphone. exactly, with
your
all my
smartphone.
software. With all my software, exactly. And
Because people will get the iPhone, they'll go to the App Store and they'll download like 20 or 30 apps right away. Some are free, some are 99 cents, some are $1.99, and so on.
exactly.
And this is phenomenal how much people are consuming of that.
Exactly. I mean, and it's like, you know, it's like the complete opposite of that is like, you know, hangers. People aren't going to be going online to buy, you know, they buy their first set of hangers that they get delivered to their house. They're not going to go and continue buying hangers over and over and over again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
So you want to have multiple of things. You want to have a deep marketplace. A great marketplace like that is like paintball guns, okay? Because there's paintball guns, there's paintball pellets, there's paintball equipment, there's paintball. You know what I'm saying? It goes on and on and on. There's paintball accessories, you know, helmets, everything. Same thing.
Well, and every time you play, you got to buy more paintball pellets, right?
Exactly. So that, again, that's something where you've got rabid buyers. They're going to keep purchasing over and over and over, and different things. The fifth positive sign, and this is an online indicator. If you go on to Google AdWords and you type in the keyword, one of your main keywords, you know, RC helicopters, and you do not see any advertising over to the right-hand side, run. Don't walk away from that market, because there's probably not much commerce going on if there's no one advertising. Again, it's like a magazine. A magazine is supported by advertisers. Otherwise, it cannot exist, which is one of the reasons that a lot of people are now shifting their, a lot of the merchants are shifting their advertising to online, which is why I think like last year about 765 magazines went out of business, and probably even more than that.
Yeah, that's right.
So we want to understand that competition is a good thing on Google AdWords. If you see there's a lot of competition, that means there's probably a bigger pie for you to grab. So now let's talk about the 4 free powerful market research tools that we can use right now to start identifying actual keywords that are actually the buying keywords that actually people are out and buying right now. Now this is real-time research that no eMarketer report can really give you. Now if you're familiar with eMarketer, it's a large research organization that gives out market research information. There's also another site called marketresearch.com, which gives you some market research on whatever industry you'd like, and the prices range anywhere from like $950 all the way up to like $2,500, and I don't think many people have the money for that.
Or want to spend the money for that when you've got a lot of other ways you can do it that you're going to show us.
Exactly. So now if you're looking to do physical goods and you want to have a physical store, which is not something I necessarily recommend because it takes employees, fulfillment, all that sort of stuff, unless you can have a fulfillment center, and that is going over to Yahoo's and Yahoo stores. And what you want to basically do is go over and you go to stores.yahoo.com. And you will find, let's see, that didn't bring up, they obviously are forwarding. What you want to go take a look at is go to Yahoo stores and take a look at the products that people are offering. And apparently I'm not getting up the place I'm wanting to go to, so let me do a Google search real quick. They obviously have changed their directory. There we go, e-commerce stores. And you can look through the e-commerce stores here. You can see what kinds of different, what kind of businesses there are that are actually running through here. Because you want to, if you're looking for a business, you want to make sure that there's already an existing type of business.